Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. For this video I am joined today by...
Hi guys, I'm Amy.
Hello Amy, welcome back to the channel. First time on for this year. So looking forward to a really good Republic versus Republic game today. I know that Republic isn't your strong suit. You prefer to be shooting them down than flying them.
Yes. Evil through and through, dark side.
So hopefully you'll have a bit of an experience of what they can do and how quickly you can take them out. But we'll go through the list anyway. So we do today actually have myself playing. So I'll go through my list. So we have the ETA 2 in the form of Shakti with R4 Astromech and the Extreme Maneuvers. We have two N1 starfighters with Anakin Skywalker with R4 Astromech, passive sensors and plasma torpedoes. He is supported by Padme Amidala, also with R4 Astromech, passive sensors and plasma torpedoes. And rounding out the list, we have the Nimbus V-Wing in the form of Click with R4 Astromech, Alpha 3B Besh and the thermal detonators. And opposing him, Amy, you're going to go through Madbots list for us.
Yep, so we've got Madbot. I'm just going to shorten his alias to Mad or Bot. So he's got two letters. One of them is Obi-Wan Kenobi, running Patience, and the other one is his trusty Jedi apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, also with Apprentice. We've got Rick Olay in the Naboo N1 Starfighter with the R2C4 Astromech, and then we've also got the V-Wing with Contrail, and he is flying with thermal detonators and Alpha 3B Besh configurations.
Nice. So we have a lot of similar ships on the board. So we have three ETA 2s, three Naboo starfighters, and two V-Wings. So first things first, I think that's quite interesting when you've got such similar ships. Obviously, the ETA 2 and the V-Wing, when this was recorded, they'd basically only just actually made their way to the UK shores. We had a bit of a delay in getting hold of those, so a lot of people were flying them this night. First things first, what's your thoughts on the lists?
I'm really excited to see it. I do prefer, I mean, this is just my personal preference, I prefer to see ships with fewer upgrades and cards on, because you can still see, you know, how powerful those ships are and how fantastically they run, just stripped down to the bare minimum, really. I've not actually seen any of these fly. The only ones that I've gone up against are the N1 Naboo starfighters. I haven't flown up against any of the V-Wings or any of the ETA 2s. So I'm quite excited to see how these run, and then hopefully get a bit of a heads up of how they work and fly for when I'm, you know, managed to get back to the studio when lockdown's finished.
Absolutely. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of a heads up of how to combat these ships. I mean, I do know what you mean. It is quite refreshing seeing less upgrade cards on ships there. So I take it you're rooting for Madbots in this one.
Yeah, I love you lots, but I am kind of like going against you at the minute.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine, Amy, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think that all of the ships on the table, I mean, I'm a big fan of the M1 Starfighter. When I first started playing X-Wing back in first edition, I was really looking forward to some of the prequel ships coming in, and the Naboo Starfighter was one of the first ones. I was like, I can't wait for that. It's going to be so cool. It'll look great. So when that came out, I was so happy about that. So much so that I had to go and buy two of them, and actually based my colour scheme for my fleet of Republic ships on that yellow. So everything in my fleet, once I've taken a paintbrush to it, has gone from the red to the yellow. But yeah, I mean, this, I will say, knowing exactly what is going to happen in this game, it was a really good fun game. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit wary of the Anakin Obi-Wan combination. especially with Madbots' whole entire list having that initiative bonus against me, with 3 initiative 5s and initiative 6 versus my 4 initiative 4s.
Yeah, that would have been quite difficult to go up against, especially judging where, Mad's going to be going.
Yeah, and those Eta 2s are extremely maneuverable.
Yeah.
So, and talking about how maneuverable those Eta 2s are, Madbots is actually showing off their innate abilities. That's the intuitive controls. During the system phase, you may perform a purple barrel roll or boost action. So slight reverse there from the Delta 7, where you can do that after moving. You can use that to reposition early on, which can be quite handy if you've tried to get yourself into a really handy position behind an obstacle and then decide, actually, I don't want to fly over it next turn. I'll just use my force to get around it.
That's quite a handy little thing to have. Although I know some players do use the energy clouds to their advantage. But again, I think that's down to personal preference and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite a big fan of the gas clouds. I think that they're a more forgiving obstacle, especially for a ship like the Eta 2, having only 3 hull. Flying over one of those not going to actually cause you any damage. Yes, you may get a strain, but I think overall it's probably one of the better options for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got quite a few blue manoeuvres on their dial anyway, so even if they were to get strained from the gas cloud, it's going to be quite easy for them to shake it off as well. Same with stress as well, like going through debris clouds. So that's one of my favourites, is using those, and just every so often, if you roll that critical damage. Oh, it's a direct hit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's always tough. So you've had a bit of a look at the list today when I sent it to you. What would be your sort of first thoughts or first thinkings of how you'd want to fly some of these ships?
For me personally, I love, you know me, I love flying my TIE Swarm, so I like to go in like hard and fast. The kind of idea I'm getting from this list is, especially with Obi-Wan's ability, and I think, oh no, that's Anakin, sorry. You need to be within range 0 to 1 for a lot of their stuff to kick in. So I would want to fly in, get a few hits in, fly out, and then go back in. Especially with the Eta 2s.
Yeah, it's not a fly down the teeth sort of thing. It's a get round the outside sort of job.
Flank them, do your hits, run away, and then come back, almost in like a circle or a figure of 8. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting from it. Thermal detonators, it's been a really long time since I've seen them be used, but I think that could be with me being in Lincoln and they're just not a popular thing at our club. Bomblet generators, one of the favourites of ours.
Yeah. Well, thermal detonators are quite a new one actually, but they are really cool. With the thermal detonators, you can actually drop 2 in a turn. So you may spend up to 2 charges to drop that many thermal detonators, and then you can drop them at 1 or 2 out of the back, but they have to be, if you drop 2, one has to be at 1 and one has to be at 2. They don't have a huge damage output in that it's only 1 dice rolled against the enemy, but it can strain, damage, or critical you, which is quite cool.
I do like that.
Yeah. So we've got our first speculative shot here from Anakin on Contrail. Now, just checking the bearings of where the ships went in comparison to each other. And that's a pretty good first shot there, actually, spending the force for 2 hits and a crit with the plasma. Okay, so just a crit going into the shields there. Because it's plasma torps, that gets rid of another shield. So although I only got 1 hit through, gets two shields down, which is quite nice. Now, you've got Madbots list up there. I mentioned about the checking the headings for what direction the ships are going. Can you just remind us of Contrail's pilot ability?
Contrails is while you defend or perform an attack, if the bearing of your revealed maneuver is the same as the enemy's, you can change one of the enemy's focus results to a blank. So you're basically stripping away that action should you choose. I think that's quite useful. Quite a useful thing to have, actually.
Yeah, it'd be quite tricky. It's very powerful, but very tricky to pull off, I think. Having to both be going in the same direction at the same time. So in that case, for this one, Anakin went to the left and Contrail went to the right. So Contrail wasn't able to actually trigger that. But it is it's a cool ability, but something that's going to be quite tricky, I think, to pull off.
Yeah, I think maybe towards the middle or the end of the game where things start getting a bit closer, maybe when you see things bumping a little bit and you're trying to, move different directions to get out of each other's way, I think then it might possibly work. But yeah, again, it is going to be a very tricky thing to use.
It'll still be quite cool if it actually pulls off. So at the moment, it looks like Contrail is not wanting to stare down the teeth of those 4 ships, and Obi and Anakin seem to be continuing to try and get down that board and around the side. So it'll be interesting to see how successful that actually is.
Yeah, they seem to be staying out of the way for the moment.
Yeah.
But in a way, I don't blame them because they are very powerful pilots and Jedi, so
yeah,
keeping safe for the minute. But
I mean, the one thing I will say with the Eta 2 is anyone that watched our video last week knows that they're a very powerful ship, but like any ship like that, they can go down very easily. We saw one of the ships last week, I think it was Aayla Secura, get one-shotted. So they are quite fragile. So you do have to be careful with them. But again, pretty much like most interceptors, they are still really good. And they rely on their speed a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like another equivalent from another faction would be the TIE Interceptors. Obviously, 3 hull, they're still very good ships, good pilots, and very fast maneuverable. The edge that the Republic has, obviously, is these pilots have Force, and Force can do so many different things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Force almost becomes another action for you there. It is very powerful. So there's Ricole landing on a gas cloud. No strain token for him, so that's quite lucky. But yeah, the Force is very powerful. And I mean, just imagine, say, Soontir Fel or Fen Rao with just a single Force point. That would be, it would just be mind-blowing. It would never happen, but it would be crazy. And that's where some of the advantage of the Eta 2 does come in.
That does sound like heaven, actually. Soontir having a Force power.
I do like that.
As if he wasn't powerful enough already, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's not quite first edition powerful, but no. He's still a really good pilot, and I still enjoy flying him like quite regularly when I'm flying my Empire lists.
He is one of my favourites. I fly him with my Decimator still quite a lot. Really do enjoy flying him.
Yeah. I don't enjoy so much when I end up rolling evades and rolling all blanks with him, though, which unfortunately happens far more often with Soontir Fel than any other pilot I know.
Dice gods are not with that ship.
No, not at all. So we do have a little bit of a possible melee here with Ricolay. He's definitely going to be an arc of 2 ships there. It's hard to see if Shakti and the Etta actually has. I don't think she's got Rick in the arc there, which is a shame.
Yeah, it looks as if it goes just past. I mean, it might catch the ship's tail, but maybe not the pilot tail.
Yeah. So for you, who do you think is your main focus for either list? Who would you say is the one that you should be looking at first?
What you mean, to focus fire someone down?
Yeah, to try and get rid of.
I'm gonna have to say Anakin, purely because I know that the Jedi are very slippery. They're very hard to go against on occasion. So I want to get that sort of done and out of the way first. So I'd maybe focus on Anakin straight away.
Is that Anakin in the Etta 2 or Anakin in the N1?
Oh, in the N1. Yep. Sorry, I keep forgetting that they're like evil twins on board.
Yeah, we've got baby Annie and moody emo Annie on the table.
Yes.
Before he becomes grouchy dad Annie. Yeah, so I mean, I do know what you mean. Like Anakin in the M1 Starfighter, he's very maneuverable, especially with his ability to spend a force to barrel roll before he actually moves. And then he's the I think the only ship in the game that can then, once he's moved, do another barrel roll.
Very slippery.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I love the fact that they kept that in. There's quite a few abilities and names on cards that they've really looked at the lore and actually kept in there. So Anakin doing barrel rolls from Phantom Menace, Han Solo's ability, like the gunner, where he always shoots first, was great. So a little nod to the original New Hope before Lucas went and changed it, because as we all know, Han shot first. And some of the titles on the cards as well. I think it's one of the Hyena bombers, the DBS 404, the Unknown Protocol. I just think that's such a cool, it's such a little nerdy name, but I love it.
It's just the little details that I love in this game, especially, with us both being huge Star Wars fans.
Yeah. So one thing that I've actually been testing out on this list is passive sensors on the N1 Starfighters, because I've seen it used on other ships, and I thought I'd give it a go with these guys, especially with all of my ships being Initiative 4. Coming up against higher initiative ships, it is actually quite handy, as I don't know who I'm going to have in my arc or even within like range for me to target lock, and it looks like it's working out quite well there so far.
Yeah, especially with you flying in formation as well. It's quite a good force to fly.
Yeah.
You sort of staying in the wolf pack, as it were.
Yeah.
Now I've got flashbacks to Hangover, but might have to watch that tonight now.
And for any of those who aren't as familiar with passive sensors, you'll notice that there is a charge going down next to the M1 Starfighters most rounds. So with passive sensors, it's a single charge. Action, spend 1 charge. You can only perform this action in your perform action step. While your charge is inactive, you cannot be coordinated. Before you engage, if your charge is inactive, you may perform a calculate or target lock action. So that's where I've got the token on there to remind me that I've done passive sensors. And then you'll see occasionally that I'll remove that and then add a target lock onto the ship there. Okay. And then we just had some damage go through onto Obi-Wan, so that's the first hull point down there. Now, what's going to be quite interesting is what Ricolay is going to try and do from there. So,
Trying to think.
so what would... Obviously, you've got Anakin and Contrail really trying to get around there. So I can imagine it's soon they're going to start turning back in. Obi-Wan is in a very interesting position, as is Rico Lay. I mean, what would you be doing with Rico Lay, and what would you be doing with Obi-Wan?
With Obi-Wan, I'm tempted to sort of move him maybe 1 or 2 forward or bank, just to, you know, have a few pop shots. However, with 4 ships against 1, that's probably not going to be the best idea. So, but then again, it depends on where Contrail and Anakin are going to be going, especially if they can come around on that gas cloud and get their flank. Rico Lay, I do want to say like doing some form of K-turn, but I know that the Naboos don't have that.
They don't have a K-turn, but they do have the 3 Talon.
Yeah, I was just thinking that whether they could potentially do a 3 Talon, but obviously it depends on how fast your ships go. It's maybe a 3 Talon to the right to get behind, and then you're sort of surrounded by all sides.
Yeah, you got to hope that in that situation, Madbots is obviously hoping that I'm going to be moving a little bit faster, because if there's only 1-speed maneuvers, a 3 Talon might just bump, but if I go a little bit faster than that, it could possibly fit in behind there.
Yeah, it could do.
I mean, for the eagle-eyed, you might have just got a little bit of a view on what Anakin was doing there.
I didn't see it. I was too busy admiring your face mask.
Yes, my lovely face mask that my wife actually made me. She made me a couple of Star Wars ones. I find the ones you can buy in the shops, they're a little bit too small for me. So she made me some larger face masks to cover half of my, depending on your view, pretty face. But she made them Star Wars ones, which was really cool.
That is good. Got a bit the child one that says this is the way, or this is my good side, with him floating in his little pod, but that's all I've got.
Nice. Also, we do have a single thermal detonator drop there. So with thermal detonators, you can drop up to 2, but you don't have to drop 2. And if you have the reload action, when you reload them, you can actually gain back 2 charges if you have enough space for 2 charges. Ooh, so Obi-Wan there using a force to boost round.
Ooh.
What tricky shenanigans is he going to pull now then? Obviously, I'm in a bit of a tricky position because those gas clouds have kind of got me hemmed into. If I don't want to go over them, they've kind of got me hemmed into having to go forward.
It's like you're being funneled through a tunnel almost.
Yeah.
But are you going to do the predictable thing of flying through them, or are you going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit and go through the gas clouds?
I mean, I do like a chocolate biscuit. Unfortunately, my New Year's resolution was not to go on a diet, because why restrict yourself when things are so bad at the moment with lockdowns? You've got to get as much enjoyment out of it as possible. And chocolate biscuits are one of them.
It's got to be done. You've got to have a few treats here and there.
So here we go, the Annie barrel roll.
You're almost in a little conga line as well. I like it.
Yeah, that does free me up a bit there to be able to do that one bank. I mean, I'm a big fan of having ships with if not the same, but very close initiative orders, because I think it gives you a lot of freedom there as to which ship you actually activate first and move first. So you don't get stuck. Anytime I've tried to fly swarms with quite a few ships, if you get one with like an initiative that's higher or lower, I always end up finding it's in the wrong place for where I want everything to go because of that initiative, and it really frustrates me. But if you've got everything in the same order, in the same initiative, then I feel that it's a lot freer.
Yeah, I agree. I do that with a lot of my lists as well. I prefer to have everything similar or same initiative. It's all about that order of play, so you can pick and choose who you want to move first, who you want to move last. And that is quite a useful thing to have.
Yeah. It's something I'm trying to work on as well. I'm starting to build up my separatist fleet, and I know that there can be quite a swarmy faction, so I'm trying to get in my head, right, how am I going to fly those in good formation. Oh, so have a 3. Is it the 3 Talon? I can't quite see the dial.
I'm going to be dead happy because I called it.
Not only that, yep, it's the 3 Talon. That is
yes.
absolutely wonderful little 3 Talon roll there. As I said, if Click had only done a 1 forward, which I don't even think he has on his dial, let's have a quick look. He doesn't have it on his dial, but if he was able to have only done a 1 forward, he would not have made that. So right now, Ricolet has full choice of where he wants to shoot, and
Obi's going fast.
Obi's going fast. He's clipping that gas cloud. Oh, and it's a K-turn. Oh, that's nice.
And he's out of arc.
Yeah.
And just shooting behind. So now I'm assuming that Contrail and Anakin are definitely going to come in fast around that gas cloud or do some form of K-turn just to try and get possibly in range, but that'll be quite a good shot to have against the ships.
Right, so let's see. So he's just hit the gas cloud, so we'll see if he gets a strain. I mean, Obi-Wan's ability, I believe, is going to trigger there. I'm not 100% familiar with Obi-Wan's ability. If you got that to hand, I know it's something to do with having more enemy ships in range 1.
Yes, so after you or a friendly Anakin Skywalker ship at range 0 to 3 executes a maneuver, if there are more enemy ships than other friendly ships at range 0 to 1, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token. So that's quite handy, especially having Ricolet just behind. Obviously Anakin's in the party as well, so.
Okay. Oh, that is a nice pile of tokens that Obi-Wan has got there. He has a stress, a strain, a target lock, and a focus. He's just collecting tokens at this point.
Nice little connection going.
And Contrail is just doing a 2K turn, getting ready to come back into the fight, hopefully trying to mop up from the devastation that Obi-Wan and Ricolet are most likely going to cause this turn.
Yeah. But the next question is Anakin going to be able to get in there as well? Is he going to barrel roll like Obi-Wan did to get a bit further in, or is he just going to move?
Well, he already boosted.
Oh,
so he won't be able to boost again. So I don't think he's going to be able to quite get himself into range. I think a barrel roll would just put him into an awkward position for next turn. So he's just decided to take the focus there, which I think is sensible.
Yeah. Assuming that's still within range 3 as well, so hopefully that'll give him a good bit of a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So range 3 on Shakti on Click. So looks like Madbots is going to try and focus down the Jedi there, which I don't blame him. So 2 hits. So spending 1 force to take no damage there. So this is the kind of turn I'm not a big fan of, one where shots coming at me and I don't get to send any back. So
they're good to do, it's just not good to go up against. I do feel for your ships there a little bit.
It's nice when you do it to someone else, but when it gets done back to you, it's painful. So that's 2 hits from Obi-Wan. The last force there spent on Shakti. So she is now completely force-starved. Oh, checking the thermal detonator. Didn't actually reach anything there.
So you're claiming it back.
Yeah, only just missed. So Ricole versus Shakti here. Oh, I like that. Nothing. Oh,
that was a good roll.
Yeah, so that's 3 shots into Shakti, and all that got spent there was 2 force tokens to take no damage. So that is... I hate being in that position, but it's great when you can come out of it unscathed.
Yeah, the force was truly with you.
Yeah. I do feel bad for Madbots there, because he flew that into a really good position. I think you probably saw him there taking a picture of it, because he was just like, you know what, he got in such a good position, and it didn't quite pan out. And I think the difficulty he now has is that Ricole and Obi-Wan are both stressed, so they're going to need to try and clear that stress.
Yeah, and it's not as if stress can sort of go towards their pilot abilities or anything like other pilots would, so they've got no choice but to get rid of it.
Yeah, they're not crazy B-wings that feed off stress.
No. Which I suppose you'll have a bit of an advantage, really, because presumably Mad's going to want to get rid of those stresses, and
yeah,
they've only got certain amounts of blue maneuvers.
I mean, they're pretty good ships for their blue maneuvers.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously being sort of like those fast interceptory style ships. So with the M1 Starfighter, it's got the 2 and 3 forward and banks are blue. With Obi-Wan, he's got the 2, 3, 4 straight and the 2 and 3 banks. So it's a bit faster than maybe he would like to be going, but he is able to clear those. Unfortunately, he's got quite a bit of congestion in front of him, so it's all down to where I go as to what space he has left to clear them and still have shots. I mean, even if Ricole was to do a 2 forward or 2 bank and bump, he'd still have a shot. He'd remove that stress, he just wouldn't have an action, which would be a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. And also, depending on how fast Ricole and Obi-Wan decide to go, if you do a slower manoeuvre, you could, force some tactical bumps there as well.
Yeah.
Which could muck things up a little bit more. However, you have still got Anakin and Contrail to come in as well.
Yeah.
So, because I'm assuming they're just going to do some form of bank or straightforwards just to try and get you an arc.
I mean, right now I'm looking at it and going, so I may potentially still have Ricole and Obi-Wan behind me, but I'm definitely going to have Anakin and Contrail coming in front of me, and that I've almost set myself up to be quite well and truly pincered, so going for a faster manoeuvre there, I think at the moment I'm looking at it going, well, if they're going to come in, I may as well try and get them in an arc so that I can shoot them.
I think that's a good call.
And I will say, I think Shakti is probably one of my favourite Eta 2 pilots. I know Anakin and Obi-Wan have got really good abilities, and their pilot skill is really good, and 3 Force. But Shakti's ability is just, it's great when you're flying in a group like this. So her ability, at the start of the end phase, you may spend any number of Force tokens to choose that many friendly ships at range 0 to 2. Each chosen ship does not remove 1 focus or evade token during the end phase. And that is just such a good ability, especially when you couple that with that's at the start of the end phase, and then during the end phase, you regain a Force token. So if you do it for one ship, you spend that force, but then you basically regain it straight away.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, I can understand why you're flying in formation or a group as well. It kind of reminds me of the Separatists in a way. Is it Grievous with Solus One or Kraken, where you can keep calculate tokens?
Yeah, it's the Kraken tactical relay. That's one of the few tactical relays I actually have with my fledgling Separatist fleet, and that's a really cool tactical relay to have. Very expensive at 11. I think it was 11 points, but very powerful. And yeah, Shakti's ability, it's almost like that, but not quite as powerful in that you can't save up to 3 tokens, and if you were to do two tokens one turn, you could definitely only do 1 token the next turn.
Yeah.
But then again, a focus token, is better than a calculate token.
Oh gosh, it's got more possibilities.
Yeah. Oh, so it looks like Obi-Wan and Ricolay have decided to chicken out, and Obi-Wan is trying to replicate Attack of the Clones and park himself on a rock.
Yeah, just gotta hope there's no seismic charges anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another damage on Obi-Wan. So that's half points on Obi-Wan now. So
it's a shame.
Not a lot of damage has actually been dealt out, but again, the ETA-2s, they don't have a lot of damage to suffer.
No. I mean, it's kind of a shame, really, that your ships are facing the wrong way, because that would be quite a good shot to have on him with only being a 1 health. He's facing, the edge of the board, and he can't shoot because he's on an asteroid.
Yeah. O for an LA-80 or Y-Wing with a turret right now.
Yeah, that would be quite handy.
And here comes the moody one himself, getting himself into a really nice position to basically have his pick of who he wants to shoot. I'm not going to lie, for me, having Anakin Skywalker coming out the side of you is actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
And looks like their Madbots is really utilising that Anakin Obi-Wan combo, spending a force on Obi-Wan to get the focus on Anakin.
Yeah, so still getting some use out of him, even though he is facing the wrong way on an asteroid.
Yeah.
He has been of some use, that's good.
I mean, Obi-Wan says that he doesn't like flying anyway. That's probably why.
No. Another happy landing.
So we have Anakin taking his shot.
It's not bad. Ooh.
So some damage going in. Debating whether to... Oh, no, it's spending the evade on Anakin there. And obviously, as we said, Madbots will shoot everything that he can first before I get a chance. Or at least the 2 that are facing the right way. Okay.
2 hits.
So spending that target lock straight away there to turn that focus into a hit is part of the Alpha 3V Besh ability there. So we did actually get a damage go through on Anakin. With the Alpha 3V Besh, while you perform a primary attack, you may spend your lock on the defender to change one of your blank or focus results to a hit. Also actually allows you to add the device slot as well. So really good, powerful card.
Ooh.
2 hits and a crit there from Annie. You hurt me, I will hurt you back. And that was the final plasma torpedo as well. And Annie basically saying, anything you can do, I can do better.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And on the way out there, he gets a panic pilot and gains 2 stress, which I don't think really makes much difference.
No.
Downside is there. To be honest, it's one of those random questions of which order do you shoot in. Fortunately for me, obviously Padme and Shakti only had contrail in arc, so it kind of made sense just to shoot with Anakin first. But Click does have a shot on Anakin, gets 1 hit, Anakin blanks out, but then spends his evade. So that was obviously the Obi-Wan Anakin combo there. Obi-Wan giving Anakin the focus, and then Anakin taking the evade. Very powerful.
That is quite good.
So I've definitely got the upper hand here. In that, managed to get 1 ship off the board already. Unfortunately, Anakin is now in the fray, and he is so darn maneuverable. Trying to pin him down is really going to be quite tricky.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen a few games where, yeah, fair enough, 1 ship is on 1 hull like Obi-Wan, and Ricole is maybe going the wrong way. I have seen, like, 1 ship at full health that's massively maneuverable take down a full fleet.
You're talking about Fen Rao, basically, who is a monster.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have.
Legend, but...
Yeah, I have seen it. I mean, you definitely can't count your opponent out until the game is over, because there are some amazing comebacks that are out there. Fen Rao he's a bit of a comeback king, and even in our video last week, although it didn't really change the tide of the game too much, that Y-wing, off the top of my head I can't remember, I think it was broadside, he made that game end up a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be 20 minutes from the end, with such a well-placed couple of thermal detonators. And if you want to see how to use thermal detonators really well and quite cheekily, definitely go back and check our video last week, because Madbots, who's also here again, did some beautiful thermal detonating.
Yeah. It's one thing I like about this game is that it, let's say, for example, at the minute, maybe the odds are in your favour. Unexpected things can happen and things can change so quickly. That's one of the things I love so much about the game.
Yeah. You definitely, you can't count anyone out.
No.
And you can't think, oh, I've got this in the bag. I mean, still 33 minutes left of the game. And yes, 1 ship is down for Madbots, but it could flip so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, if he takes out 1 ship on my side, and then he can start just whittling them down. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this one ends up.
Yeah. And there's a thermal detonator very close. Well, it's 2 thermal detonators very close to Obi and Rick.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm almost assured that neither of those will be in range. It's almost a bit of I have new bombs and it's a bit speculative. Let's just give it a go. Because sometimes they're just great to... It might be that the maneuver they had actually dialed in keeps them within range of them, so they have to then change their action step to what they did want to do. So And 3 talent roll from Annie there. Gaining his evade for the native ability for the M1 Starfighter. Oh, and we have the 2 purple talent roll from Shakti. Again, such a crazy maneuver to be able to talent roll and not be stressed by it. Yes, you have to spend a force, but it's really good. And to be honest, I could have made that even crazier with the extreme maneuvers, but it just wasn't a good option at that point.
No, I mean, you're still in a very good position anyway, because you've still got Anakin to move in the Eta 2. So
it'll be interesting to see where Anakin goes. I mean, Anakin's very much in a position that he can get out of that quite easily.
Mm.
So, as I said, I'm in that awkward position of I want to sort of bring in the my guns to bear on Anakin. Unfortunately, where Padme was, she wasn't in a position to be able to do that 3 talent roll as well, because of where Shakti is and also where that cloud was.
Mm.
Okay. There from Click. So definitely the I'm turning around and coming back at you. So one thing I do like about Click as well on the V-Wing, and this actually happened in the next game I played the same day as I played this game, his ability is really good. So while a ship that you have locked at range 1 to 3 defends or performs an attack, you may spend 1 charge to prevent range bonuses from being applied. That works on Fen Rao. So Fen Rao, if you can negate that range 1 bonus, it also, from the way we read the rules, can negate his face-off range 1 bonus as well, because you're negating the range bonuses.
Yeah.
So where he would normally have 5 dice at range 1, he ends up only having 3. So Click is almost like a Fen blocker.
Mm.
Ooh. That's an interesting position.
Yeah.
So, K-turn there. Anakin using his ability to then spend a force to remove that stress. Oh wow, that's just crazy. So Anakin spent a force to ignore the stress, to get rid of the stress. Obi-Wan spent the force to give Anakin a focus. Anakin then barrel rolls, gets himself out of everyone's arc, and then goes, right, now I can shoot whoever I want. That is why the Obi-Wan Anakin combination is so powerful. And I can imagine that Anakin and Obi-Wan are probably going to get some form of a points increase when it comes to whenever they do the next increase.
Mm.
So Anakin's shooting first.
Oh.
So yeah, 3 hits and a crit.
Ouch.
Right. So Padme spending the evade, hit crit, so that's both her shields gone. I mean, that's basically a free shot there. He's got nothing coming back at him. So Ricole next. Obi-Wan won't have a shot this round. He's too far out.
Yeah.
So now just checking what speed their maneuvers were to see if Ricole's ability comes off, which it doesn't, because it was they all did the same or higher than Rick. Okay, absolutely fine there. Padme laughs it off. And now the return fire. Yep, just confirming, Anakin managed to get himself in that tiny little slot there that meant he was not being shot by anything. Like, I love it and hate it at the same time. It's so good. So there's going to be 3 shots coming into Ricole. So Ricole taking a shield there.
It's not too bad. Could be worse. Mind you saying that he has got 3 ships going up against him.
2 more ships, troops. Obviously, Padme, unfortunately, facing the wrong way. So Anakin range 3 through the cloud. 2 hits. Got the cloud there to laugh it off. Again, that's why the cloud is such a good little obstacle there. Nothing from Click. So I think at that point, Madbots is a little bit disappointed that he didn't use that focus earlier to not take a shield on Ricole. But again, it's one of those things you never know when that's going to happen.
No.
So it's quite nice for Madbots. He's got everything poised to come back in now. So it's now 3 ships versus 3 ships. Sorry, 3 versus 4 still.
I can imagine Padme's sort of doing. I keep forgetting that Padme's there, actually. Yeah, I'm assuming she's probably going to be out for the next round, isn't she, really? Unless she can do some form of.
Well, she's got the Talon roll.
To come back round.
She's got the Talon roll, which would be probably the best option for her there. I mean, unfortunately, looking at it, you can almost guarantee that Anakin's going to be getting in behind the rest of them. He may even just do another K-turn and just go, yeah, I'm going to do a K-turn and spend a force and not care about it. So, again, that's what makes Anakin so tricky to pin down.
Especially with Obi now back in it as well, because presumably he's going to go quite fast to get back in the action.
Yeah. And although he's only got 1 health left, he is still initiative 5, so he is going to get to shoot first. So it might be a bit of a Hail Mary from Obi-Wan, but at least he'll be able to do something before he potentially becomes one with the Force.
Yeah. He's going out with a fight.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that Talon roll from Padme. So keeping a nice wide arc there to hopefully cover things. So the thing is, it's difficult to know where Ricole is going to go. Like Obi-Wan, you almost anticipate him just coming straight forward or possibly banking slightly to ship right. Ricole, it's hard to say, and you kind of want to keep your guns there. but also get a bit of distance
Yeah.
on Anakin. So
I think with the gas cloud being there, it probably makes sense for Rick to do maybe a straight or a bank moving towards Padme, just to
yeah,
have that one-on-one shooting against each other. I think that probably might be the wisest thing to do.
yeah, because with that, he shoots first. He could completely take her out and then not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he gets into range 1 as well, because that's only what 3 hull to get rid of.
Yeah,
And any crits in there, direct hit.
she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
So let's see. Ricole doing the 4 forward. Right now, doesn't look too bad there.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely be shooting at range 1 of each other there then.
Still waiting on Ricole's action, though. Oh, it was about to place a focus token down there, but I think he's debating whether to target lock instead. Yeah, so he's going to target lock there. So if Padme survives, it'll be shooting back at each other, but it's going to be quite difficult. Oh, Obi-Wan did do that bank to ship right. It's a bit of an interesting one. You kind of would have expected that he might have wanted to focus fire alongside Anakin towards one of those 3 in the middle there, but
Yeah.
So he's barrel rolling out there to give himself a bit more range away from everything. I think he's managed to get himself out of Shakti's arc. He's going to benefit from the gas cloud from Click. Anakin is the only one with the unobstructed shot there. Oh, and there's just a 1 hard there from Anakin. Interesting. Peeling away there with Anakin is not what I would have expected him to do, to be honest. I thought he would have pressed the advantage there.
Yeah, I agree. I would have thought he would have come round the back just to get a couple of shots in your fable. So running away, I'm not sure what he's doing, unless he's trying to protect him for later. But even then, that doesn't make sense with your ships, facing the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my ships were stressed as well, so they had to do blue maneuver. Oh, that's 2 hits to 2 blanks. Spending the evade, so 1 more damage through on Padme there. So this isn't going to be good. It's 4v2. And so that's hit crit there. So needs absolutely fine.
Oh.
That is brilliant. So Padme now has a lovely range 1 shot back into Ricole.
Yeah. I think that was a very satisfying dice roll defense-wise.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, that's not the roll you want.
No.
Right, so checking Shakti first. No,
Okay.
it is out, which is quite a shame there. Yeah, so no arc there with Shakti. So range 2 through the gas cloud from Click to Obi-Wan. So 2 hits. Obi-Wan laughs it off, even had the gas cloud there. Kind of hoping for all eyeball. Well, yeah, 3 eyeballs would have been lovely there, because then he could have only changed 1. So range 3 through the gas cloud, 2v5. So target lock is already on Obi-Wan, so spending the passive senses for a calculate instead. Oh, there's a good job I took that calculate, spending the calculate and the force there. 2 hits. Gas cloud and force. Obi-Wan is still there. And that's
doing well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a terrible roll, but it was just right for him to be able to get out of that. I mean, that's why force wielders are quite powerful. Force wielders plus gas clouds equals longevity. So, I think this is actually even tougher positioning now. I think it's just K-turns all round for Madbots, but Click is definitely going through that gas cloud if he wants to stay in the fight. Padme's in quite an awkward position as well, because she goes before all of Madbot's ships. So it's quite likely that she's going to bump.
Yeah. I would say maybe maybe a bank or a sharp to the right to try and get Anakin, but he's too maneuverable to predict whereabouts he will be going, so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably safe to say that she's definitely going to bump.
Yeah, I mean, a 3 bank to clear the stress would probably be one of the best maneuvers there. It's also one of the few maneuvers that definitely won't bump. I think that too hard towards Anakin, I don't think that would clear. I think it would actually bump. We're getting the final. Yeah, and I don't think I did a 3 bang towards the thermal detonator I was about to drop. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sometimes be pretty reckless with my flying, but reckless or forgetting what I'd actually dialed in would probably be more likely the case.
Yeah, fortunately, though, it does happen on occasions. I mean, I've easily done it. I've flown a full health ship off the board within like the second round. It's easily done.
Oh, I've seen it done.
Thing is, it was all the way back in version 1. It was Boba Fett as well. So it was quite a chunky ship. I have to laugh about it now, otherwise I'll still cry.
I mean, someone did that against me with a full health decimator. It came charging down the board, and he had engine upgrade on there and did a boost. And I was just looking at it, and if it was casual, I'd have been like, "Are you sure you want to do that? Because nothing you can do will keep you on the board."
Yeah.
But this was in a tournament, so I was a bit like, "Okay, I'll let you see if you realise your mistake." And he got himself into a position where he was so close to the board edge that he had no manoeuvres that could keep him on the board edge. So he ended up flying a full health Rear Admiral Chiranu with all the bells and whistles off the board. which left me facing, because he only had a 2-ship build, it left me facing 1 ship, and I was like, I kind of feel bad for you, but my game just got a little bit easier for me.
Yeah, especially in a tournament as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's always horrible. You always feel really bad when someone does it.
Yeah. But at the same time, you do have that little person inside you saying, yes!
Oh, so the 2 hard did fit. Interesting. I mean, I've had someone in 1st edition Ion walk a ghost off the board edge as well.
That's always fun to see.
I was not happy about that.
To be fair, I think everybody has that happen to them at some point. I mean, Tim definitely did that to me last year. I can't even remember what he ioned off the board, but afterwards he said, it was kind of rude not to. And I thought, yeah, actually, I agree. I kind of would have done that in your position as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those rites of passage as an X-Wing player, because it's something you look back on and you can laugh about, and then you go, yeah, I'm now more aware that no matter how often you joke about it, it is something that can happen, so you just have to be aware of it.
Yeah. But as long as you can laugh about it, that's the main thing, and we always do, so...
I mean, in the end, this is a game. We are here to have fun. Obviously, winning is always good, but I much prefer to have a really good game where both players have fun and you can do some really cool things in there than just having just winning and it not being fun. I mean, I've had some great games where I've been absolutely trounced, but it was just so much fun to play it that I was like, you know what? I'm not even angry. I'm not even sad. It was still a fun game. Ooh. Obi-Wan is really going for those K-turns.
Oh, he's definitely being brave, especially with the 1 health left. I think that's quite a good call.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a call, to say the least. We'll see how potentially good it is. I mean, Obi-Wan will get to take that first shot, but he does have 3 ships facing him.
Yeah.
And will he trigger his last force point to give himself a focus?
Or will he give it to Anakin?
Yeah. Well, I think they may be about to try and spend a force point on Anakin to ignore the stress.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, we've got a barrel roll. Looking to try and get out of Shakti's arc. He really doesn't like Shakti's shooting. She's basically become a glorified support ship there.
Yeah.
And Anakin, the scary one. Doing the 2 Talon.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it now. Bye-bye, Padme. There's no way you're surviving a range 1 bullseye shot from Anakin.
Yeah, I'd kind of... Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably bye-bye. Like, at this point, I wouldn't even bother rolling the defense dice. I'd be like, yeah, I'll just move that off the board.
4v2, Anakin still has a force. Padme has nothing to change it with. Although, it's possible.
Survive?
No, 2 force with nothing to change that.
Wow.
I mean,
why would you do that to your wife? Why? The mother of your children.
I mean, it's not the first time he's done it.
No, true.
And we have another Eta-2 with bullseye. So the Eta-2, quite interestingly, its normal attack is 2 dice. However, if it gets in bullseye, it has 3. Oh,
that's unlucky.
No force, no target locks, no focus. That makes up for losing Padme. And now let's have a look. Does Shakti have a shot?
I'm tempted to say yes. Yes.
Oh, she does have a shot. Excellent.
This could be painful.
Yeah.
I mean, the points are already quite close, but
Yeah,
if you manage to finish off Obi, it's going to be difficult to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, it is very close on there.
I think he survived that one, didn't he?
He did survive that first shot. So Anakin, spending that target lock. Come on. Hit crit. Lovely. That's what you want to see. And that's Obi-Wan Kenobi off the board. So that does make it a little bit trickier there. Although, as we've seen, Anakin is difficult.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, does mean that Click doesn't have a shot there.
And there's still 5 minutes left, so even though there is a little bit of a points gap, I'd say that's 2 rounds possibly if you quick?
Yeah, if you're quick, I reckon you could get 2 rounds in there. I mean, having a look at the ships that are on the board, Anakin's not far away from half. And as I said, the Eta-2s can go down in one shot. So if Anakin's able to get a really good shot in on, say, Shakti and take her out, then that brings it back. Half points on Anakin doesn't quite get there. But if flown quickly, 2 rounds would be exactly right if Madbots can do this well. Which he's been flying Anakin really well, I'm not going to lie.
Oh gosh, yeah.
He's really proven that maneuverability and that deadly precision that you can get there from the Eta-2.
Yeah, and it's not as if there's loads of ships left on the board as well, so it's not as if there's loads of manoeuvre dials to sort out on each side. It's 3 against 2, so 2 rounds should be quite a quick and easy thing to do.
And I think I've had very limited opportunities to actually get shots on Anakin. In fact, I don't think I've actually had a single shot on Anakin this whole game.
No, I don't think you have actually. Still at full health.
Okay, so 3 from Addy there. Trying to keep the arcs open. And there is a bump there from Shakti. Although, to be honest, it was good that I did Anakin first, because Shakti would have bumped into Click. And if Shakti had bumped into Click, Anakin wouldn't have been able to complete his maneuver. So, all in all, I think that actually is probably more advantageous. And that way, if Anakin goes up the board, it keeps the arc a bit wider. Maybe, just maybe, we get a shot there.
Yeah, I agree. That'll be quite a good move. I'm assuming, but yeah, it's a talent roll.
Yeah, he needs to be trying to get Rick back into that fight quite quickly.
And there's some nice protection there from the gas cloud as well, so that's quite handy.
Yeah.
So gas cloud with presumably range 3. Rick's in a good position.
Range 3, absolute max. It'd be very close. Ooh, that's not too bad. So that is actually Anakin and Shakti with arc on older, moody Anakin. don't think we're going to be able to get another round in here, but it's close.
No. And still, anything could happen, because I'm assuming that's, yeah, fair enough, won't be able to shoot a click because the bases are touching. But depending on arc, might be able to have Anakin versus Anakin range 1.
You'll definitely have Annie versus Annie range 1. What would have been preferable for Madbots would have been Anakin versus Shakti range 1 from Anakin with a bullseye. Because range 1, he'll get 3 shots into Anakin, but Anakin has 4 health left, so a shield and 3 hull. So you'd have to get all 3 through and hope that the last one was like a direct hit. Or a hull breach to... Well, no, because the crits come last. It'd have to be the direct hit.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble. But crazy things can happen, so...
Oh yeah, like I said, I mean, I've lost Soontir Fell to a range 1 shot when I had 4 evade dice. In 1 hit. Fully health, just gone. Darn you, Fenrau.
Yeah.
I promise, I don't hate Fenrau. I just know how dangerous he is. Oh, that's a good shot.
Oh.
Spending that evade to only take a shield there. That could have been a decisive roll there.
Yeah.
So Ricochet and Click are out of range of each other, so no long range shots there. Range 1 from Addy. Adding the calculates, he's already got the target lock. Oh, so hit, crit there. Oh, so we have a crit coming through. And that was damage engine by the look of it.
It's not too bad. It could have been worse, but...
Could have been worse, yeah.
Still not ideal to have a crit.
Yeah. So, range 2. 1 crit.
They did, not bad.
And got an evade there. So, Anakin survives. Oh, that was a good game there.
That was a good game.
Obviously, early on, it looked like the advantage was swinging my way, but Madbots flew Anakin extremely well there, despite some early unfortunate flying there with Ricochet and Obi-Wan. They managed to really pull it back and do some work in there. So very well done to Madbots. A very good game. What did you think in the end, Amy? I know it's not factions that you're normally familiar with.
No, I mean, I really enjoyed that. I've definitely learned a little bit more about the Eta-2s. Feel a lot more prepared now, moving forward, shooting and flying up against them. So I'm a little bit tempted to try it on Tabletop Simulator at some point.
Definitely do. I'm a big fan of the Republic. I'd say they're probably my second faction after the Empire now. But again, Amy, thank you very much for coming along and watching that and commentating with us today.
Thank you very much. It's been great to be back.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll get you back on the channel soon. So what I will say, guys, again, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, please do like the video and click that subscription button if you have not already subscribed. We will be getting videos out to you as regular as possible. But for now, we'll see you again next time.